Unseasonably cold temperatures are adding to the misery of earthquake survivors in Turkey and Syria. The only thing more horrific than having to withstand these awful conditions is the devastation that we see is the number of people who are dead, which now tops 37,000. This tragedy has so many of us concerned about earthquakes where we live. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Hunt has the story on where an earthquake is most likely in America and how best to prepare.
Rescue and recovery efforts continue in southeastern Turkey and northern Syria, where 1 week after a devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake, the death toll has now passed 35,000 people. That number is expected to continue rising in the coming days. As Americans send aid to help the homeless and hungry, many also question what would happen if a big quake hit here.
This earthquake is a poster child for what's going to happen in Southern California. This is what we expect to happen along the southern San Andreas.
According to seismologists, California is the most at risk due to being in a fault line hot zone. This includes the San Andreas fault. The U.S. Geological Survey has said it is highly likely that some areas across the fault will experience a magnitude 6.7 earthquake in the next 30 years. The Midwest is also at risk with 2 seismic zones in the region. Earthquakes can't be predicted, so the focus is on raising awareness on how to protect yourself. Campaigns like Drop, Cover and Hold in California and Indiana teach people what to do when the worst happens.
The most important thing to do is to drop down, to cover yourself, and then hold on until the shaking stops.
State and local leaders also stress the importance of having emergency preparedness kits, including a week's worth of water and non-perishable food. In Los Angeles, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page. We have more great videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things weather.